I'm Liyana Hassanel, and this is Nightline, the top stories. Daily COVID-19 caseload shoots past 5,000 amid warning over Omicron wave. And parents can book venue and time slot for Pick Kids via MySejahtera. Good morning. As the nation's COVID-19 new infections hit the 5,000 mark again, the Health Minister has urged the public to work together to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, with community empowerment amid the beginning of the Omicron variant wave in the country. Khairi Jamaluddin, however, said no lockdown or heavy compounds would be imposed. Instead, the people needed to focus on their own behavior. In his Twitter account on Thursday, Khairi asked the people to wear masks, especially in crowded areas, get their booster shots, and support the effort to get children vaccinated. Earlier, Khairi said the Omicron wave has begun in Malaysia and the number of COVID-19 cases in the country was expected to rise. According to him, the situation, however, will be under control as the country has a high vaccination rate. The Health Minister's call came on the day its Director General, Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, said the number of COVID-19 cases reported on Thursday passed the 5,000 mark for the first time since December 10th last year. Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham said with 5,439 new infections recorded, the total number of cases stood at 2,850,048. The Health DG also said that the country's COVID-19 infectivity rate, the R0, has risen to 1.13. He also said that there were 22 new clusters reported. In other news, parents in the Klang Valley can book slots for their children aged 5 to 12 to receive COVID-19 vaccination through the MySejahtera application soon. The appointment-based system will also allow parents or guardians to choose when and where they want the shoots to be administered for their children. Deputy Health Minister Datuk Dr. Nur Azmi Ghazali, who announced this in a press conference on Thursday, said the system would also be expanded to other states soon.
Untuk makluman, sistem ini akan dimuat naik di Play Store pada hari ini dan boleh diakses dalam masa yang terdekat. Ibu bapa atau penjaga perlu mengambil langkah-langkah yang berikut untuk membuat tempahan. Pertamanya, kemas kini ataupun update aplikasi MySejahtera. Keduanya, daftar anak-anak sebagai tanggungan atau dependent dalam MySejahtera. Dan yang ketiganya, ibu bapa yang tinggal di Lembah Kelang akan menerima pautan untuk membuat tempahan janji temu.
The first shipment of the Pfizer vaccine was slated to arrive on Friday, and the COVID-19 immunization program for children, or Pick Kids, will kick off beginning February 3rd. An estimated 4 million children aged 5 to 11 are eligible to receive the vaccine, and so far a total of 484,639 had been registered on MySejahtera. Datuk Dr. Nur Azmi added that the program would also be extended to schools with the help of the Education Ministry. He also assured the vaccine for children is safe as well as effective and that no child would be left behind under this program. Even displaced street children would receive the jab to ensure everyone are protected from serious complications that may arise from COVID-19 infection. The Transport Ministry is aiming to reduce the number of road fatalities in the country by 50% by 2030. Its Minister Datuk Sri Wika Seong said the target was set under the Malaysian Road Safety Plan PKJRM 2022 to 2030 to improve traffic safety and protect road users. Datuk Sri Wee also said that the plan emphasized on 10 safety aspects, with a vision towards Malaysia, a country with 0 road accident deaths, to improve discipline and advocacy as well as enforcement. The multi-pronged approach among the Ministry, Police, Road Transport Department, JPJ, and other enforcement agencies include effective monitoring and evaluation, safer motorcycle riding, speed management, as well as safe work travel.
sepanjang tahun 2020, seperti mana yang kita sedia maklum, kebanyakan itu dalam tempoh PKP. Sepatutnya tidak berlaku kemalangan maut kerana kita sudah menyekat kenderaan berada atas jalan raya. Tetapi ianya masih berlaku.
He said this at the launch of the Plan and Integrated Enforcement Operation in conjunction with the Chinese New Year 2022 in Putrajaya on Thursday. Datuk Sri Wee added that the road accidents not only pose a risk of injury or death, but will also lead to economic losses in terms of infrastructure repairs, compensation payments, or medical costs. Based on police statistics, a total of 418,237 road accident cases were recorded in 2020, with 4,634 deaths, while 255,532 road accident cases were recorded involving 3,302 fatalities as of September last year.
Affordability. What to look out for when buying a house. Can a buyer expect a defect-free house? The bill then sell 1090 concept. How safe is it for buyers? Would the proposed Residential Tenancy Act put an end to tenancy woes? All about house buying on Money Matters this Saturday with National House Buyers Association Honorary Secretary General Datuk Chang Kim Lung at 5 p.m. only on TV3.
The Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, are the nexus of all policies and plans to address unsustainable development issues that could affect the environment. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said this was also to prevent any future recurrence of natural disasters, such as massive floods that hit the country recently. In his speech at the launch of the Malaysia SDG, My SDG Foundation in Putrajaya on Thursday, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said the floods should be a lesson for all parties to balance between the development and the need to protect and conserve the environment. The My SDG Foundation, which will administer the My SDG Trust Fund, is a collaboration between the government and the UN in Malaysia.
Sebagai langkah pertama, dengan sukacitanya ingin mengumumkan bahawa sumbangan kepada dana akan menerima pengecualian cukai penuh sehingga 10% daripada jumlah pendapatan tahunan keseluruhan. Saya berharap insentif ini akan mendorong lebih ramai menyumbang kepada inisiatif yang bersejarah ini.
The My SDG Trust Fund will provide a platform that incorporates donations received to support the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda, which aimed at eradicating poverty of all categories, combating inequalities, creating peace, addressing environmental issues, and ensuring that no one is left behind from the development in the spirit of Keluarga Malaysia. The International Trade and Industry Ministry, MITI, targets to attract between 150 billion to 200 billion ringgit of foreign and local investments this year. Its senior minister, Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali, said the ministry has identified 5 key sectors under the National Investment Aspirations (NIA) initiative that can attract more investors, namely electricity and electronics, pharmaceuticals, digital economy, aerospace, and chemicals.
Kita hanya mahu pelaburan yang berintensifkan teknologi, bukan berintensifkan tenaga kerja. Kerana itu menyebabkan negara bergantung kepada tenaga pekerja asing yang tidak dapat membantu negara untuk meningkatkan produktiviti. Jadi sasaran kita ialah di antara 150 hingga 200 bilion ringgit bagi tahun 2022.
Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin added MITI had already attracted 220.8 billion ringgit in investments in the manufacturing and services sectors through its agency, the Malaysian Investment Development Authority, MIDA, last year. This achievement had proven that foreign investors remained confident in the business ecosystem and policies introduced in the country. On Wednesday, the Cabinet had also approved for MITI to lead a trade and investment mission to the United States in the middle of next month. Meanwhile, Media Prima Berhad MPB received a large delegation from MITI, led by Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin on Thursday. Representing MPB for the corporate visit at Sri Pentas, Bandar Utama was Group Chairman Datuk Seri Syed Hussein Al-Junid, as well as Executive Director of News and Editorial Operations, Mustafa Kamil Muhammad Janor. The visit, which included the ministry's top management, as well as heads of agencies under MITI, also focused on strategies for mutual cooperation.
Gembira apabila mendapat undangan daripada Datuk Seri Syed Hussein untuk melihat perkembangan dan kemajuan Media Prima Berhad. Ini merupakan satu sebuah syarikat media yang telah berjaya untuk meyakini rakyat bagi memberikan maklumat yang tepat, yang benar dan berfakta.
Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin, who also visited Rev Media Group, Media Prima Audio, as well as Media Prima News and Editorial Operations, added that MPB's media platforms, including print, electronic and digital media, have been beneficial in helping the people improve their understanding of many things.
Kami amat berbesar hati untuk menerima kunjungan daripada Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali dan delegasi daripada Kementerian Perdagangan Antarabangsa dan Industri untuk berbincang mengenai cara-cara untuk memperkuatkan lagi kerjasama di antara pihak Media Prima dan juga pihak kementerian, khususnya dalam segi penyampaian kerja-kerja baik dan juga impak dan kesan industri ekspor dan juga foreign direct investment kepada negara.
The Special Committee to Review Alternative Punishments to the Mandatory Death Penalty will present its finding on the matter to the Cabinet before end of next month for its deliberation. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Parliament and Law, Datuk Seri Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar, said this after he was briefed by the committee on its finding and recommendations on Thursday. In a statement, he added that the review on the abolishment of the death penalty by the committee, chaired by former Chief Justice Tun Richard Malanjun, supported the government's decision on August 2019 to conduct a thorough study of the sentencing policy. He also said this was also to ensure that the proposal to repeal the death penalty also considered the views of all stakeholders, as the issue is complicated and sensitive. Datuk Seri Wan Junaidi also pointed out any changes to the national justice policy subject to the Cabinet's decision on the matter would take time to be implemented. The review on the death penalty covers 11 offences and 22 offences at the discretion of the courts, such as those under the Dangerous Drugs Act, Kidnapping Act and Firearms Act. It was reported previously that the bills to amend the death penalty and other related laws was expected to be tabled in Parliament by the third quarter of this year. After the break, vehicles destroyed during thunderstorm and strong winds in Shah Alam. Welcome back. The new and improved Standard Operating Procedures, SOPs, for Umrah will be finalized after being closely scrutinized by several relevant agencies. Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri said the SOPs relating to quarantine order for Umrah pilgrims were among those being looked into by the agencies, such as the Health Ministry, the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, and the Finance Ministry, as quarantine matters were not under her ministry's purview.
Sebelum itu sudah diputuskan penggantungan tu hanya 1 bulan. Jadi kalau 1 bulan daripada 8 Januari kepada 7 Februari, bermakna 8 hari bulan, tak semestinya mungkin dia nak terbang terus. Mungkin mereka lagi mengurus dari segi SOP, booking semua tu kan. Jadi saya tak mengatakan terus terbang lah. Saya kata boleh bermula. Saya ikut perkataan yang digunakan lah. Perkataan yang digunakan boleh bermula. Jadi bermula bermakna mungkin mereka lagi banyak urusan lain untuk dimuktamadkan.
The minister was speaking to the media after the presentation of Malaysian traditional costumes under the Cultural Diplomacy Program in Putrajaya on Thursday. On Wednesday, the Cabinet decided to allow Muslims to resume Umrah pilgrimages from February 8th, after Umrah travel was suspended from January 8th following the increase in COVID-19 Omicron variant cases. The government will pay some compensation to Umrah pilgrims who were unable to go for the trip recently due to the temporary Umrah travel suspension imposed by the government beginning January 8th. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Idris Ahmad, said although it will not be a full reimbursement, he hoped that the compensation will provide some relief to the affected Umrah pilgrims.
Maka insyaAllah kita akan bayarkan sedikit sagu hati ataupun pampasan akibat daripada mereka tidak dapat pergi ke sana. Dan insyaAllah perkara itu akan kita uruskan. Sekarang ini kita telah melihat supaya senarai-senarai nama itu akan perolehi daripada Kementerian Pelancongan.
Idris said this in a video posted on his Facebook page following Wednesday's announcement by the government on the resumption of Umrah travel from February 8th. He added that the compensation would be paid to eligible Umrah pilgrims through Lembaga Tabung Haji, and further details on the matter will be announced soon. A former hairstylist was sentenced to 3 years in jail by the Bukit Mertajam Magistrates Court on Thursday after he was found guilty for causing the death of a college student by reckless driving more than 2 years ago. Sessions Court Judge Ahzal Faris Ahmad Khairuddin, presiding as a magistrate, also fined 23-year-old M. Vaiteswaran 10,000 ringgit in default of 1 year's jail. Ahzal Faris gave the judgment after finding that the prosecution had proved their case beyond reasonable doubt against the accused. He also ordered for Vaiteswaran's driving license to be suspended for 5 years. Vaiteswaran's lawyer, K. Paramanathan, then told the court that they will submit an appeal on Friday and his client will pay the fine. The lawyer then requested for the judge to grant a stay of execution of the jail sentence, but it was rejected by the court. Vaiteswaran was charged with causing the death of his friend Moy Yun Peng, then 20, on the Pulau Pinang Bridge on January 20th, 2019. The offence under the Road Transport Act provides a maximum jail term of 10 years and a fine of up to 20,000 ringgit upon conviction. In the incident, the Mazda CX-5 sports utility vehicle driven by Moy plunged into the sea after it collided with the Toyota Vios driven by the accused. A massive search and recovery team managed to winch out the white Mazda 2 days after the incident. In Selangor, 10 vehicles were damaged in separate incidents after a thunderstorm and strong winds wreaked havoc in Shah Alam on Thursday afternoon. Fortunately, no casualties were reported. State Fire and Rescue Department Director Nur Azam Khamis said a distress call was received at 5 p.m, informing that 2 vehicles parked near Polytechnic Premier Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah were hit by a fallen tree. The victims managed to escape before the arrival of rescue team. Firefighters deployed to the scene then carried out works to cut the uprooted tree and clear the road. The department had also received a report that the rooftop of a hypermarket parking lot in Section 13 was ripped off and blown away by strong winds. No one was injured, however 8 cars were damaged in the incident. Police also confirmed that 13 houses at Lorong Bunga Raya 3, Jalan Kampung Bunga, in Section 22 were damaged after their roofs were blown away by strong winds. Thailand rushes to contain oil slick after pipeline leak. Details when we return. Onto the foreign front. Thailand's Navy and pollution experts battled on Thursday to clear up an oil spill close to pristine holiday beaches after an undersea pipeline leaked up to 50 tons of crude. The kingdom's pollution control department has warned that the spill in the Gulf of Thailand, about 20 kilometers off the coast of Rayong province, could threaten a national park in nearby Koh Samet Island. So far, weak currents have kept the oil away from coastal areas, and there has been no reported impact on marine life or seafood farming. Star Petroleum Refining Public Company Limited, which operates the pipeline, said the spill volume was between 20 and 50 tons, or 22,000 to 60,000 litres. The company said divers had found a failure in a flexible hose that formed part of the undersea equipment around a single-point mooring, a floating buoy used to offload oil from tankers. Meanwhile, in Tonga, a magnitude 6.2 earthquake at a depth of 14.5 kilometers has occurred off the northwest of Pangai on Thursday. This is the second strong earthquake to hit the Pacific island after the Tonga Hapai volcano erupted on 15th January, triggering tsunami alert. According to the United States Geological Survey, USGS, it has issued a green alert for shaking-related fatalities and economic losses. However, there is a low likelihood of damage since there are reportedly no settlements within 100 kilometers. Due to disrupted communications, there were no immediate reports of the quake being felt in Tonga or neighboring Fiji. And there has been no tsunami warning issued as well. Nuclear-armed North Korea fired what appeared to be 2 short-range ballistic missiles on Thursday, drawing condemnation from the United States for what would be the 6th round of missile tests this month. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said it had detected the launch of what it presumed were 2 ballistic missiles from near Hamhung on the east coast of North Korea. It added the suspected missiles traveled for about 190 kilometers to an altitude of 20 kilometers. The launch came after North Korea fired 2 cruise missiles into the sea off its east coast on Tuesday, adding the tension over its tests. According to the nuclear-armed country, it would bolster its defenses against the U.S. this month and consider resuming all temporarily suspended activities, an apparent reference to a self-imposed moratorium on tests of nuclear weapons and long-range missiles. The last time North Korea tested this many weapons in a month was in 2019, after high-profile negotiations between leader Kim Jong-un and former U.S. President Donald Trump collapsed. BAM lift ban on Zijia and Jinwei. Stay tuned. Sports. The controversy surrounding the Badminton Association of Malaysia, BAM's 2-year suspension of shuttlers Lee Zijia and Goh Jinwei has been settled amicably, after former junior world champion Jinwei also received the blessings from BAM to pursue her career as an independent shuttler. The decision was officially announced by BAM on Thursday after a meeting with Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob and the players at the Perdana Putra earlier on the day. According to BAM President Tan Sri Muhammad Norza Zakaria, both shuttlers were allowed to part ways with the National Badminton Governing Body and that no further action would be taken against them. Both players will also be eligible to register for international tournaments with immediate effect. In Jinwei's case, Tan Sri Norza said the BAM decided to accept the former SEA Games champion's resignation as valid when she announced her retirement citing health reasons last September. Commenting on the meeting with Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob earlier on Thursday, the BAM president said that the Prime Minister was happy after being informed that an amicable solution had been reached between BAM and the players. Over in China, a fearless local man saved an 18-year-old boy from drowning in the frozen river in the Hebei province by dragging him to safety with a bamboo pole. The heroic moment wraps up Nightline this time around. Take a look. And with that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thanks for watching and stay safe, Malaysia.